How's it, beloved? Oratile Kganakga, and welcome to episode 4 of Aura K. Penya, I can't believe we're on episode 4 already.
Yes, we're working, man.
We're working. Thank you guys so much for being with us up to so far. We are back in our home, Kapelo Newtown Junction, and I am with my beautiful friend, Ipeleng Masemene. My beautiful, stunning friend, Ipeleng. I remember when I told my mother and my aunt that I actually know Ipeleng, and now I had to explain Ipeleng to my but kaya na Masemene kasibili na kaya na Masemene straight. So Masemene
Dumela, Thokozane. Thank you.
So, is that how I'm supposed to greet you, friend?
No,
is it a thing?
Not really. So I'm one of the few people that don't like being addressed as Gogo in public spaces.
Okay.
Because if you have to call me Gogo, it has to be an intimate thing for me.
Oh, so you're not strict on...
No, I'm not strict. Because I'm still Ipeleng, right?
Of course.
Yeah. But then I keep Ipeleng fell. I'm Ipeleng.
Okay.
It's like someone saying, Oratile Kganakga all the time.
What
did you say, brother?
Okay.
And it ends there.
Okay.
Sure.
So, guys, Ipeleng is an accountant by profession. Ipeleng is a fashion designer and fashion brand owner. And his most important badge role rather that I want us to speak about today is he's a spiritual leader, and he will definitely explain to us, I mean, what level or what kind or whatever he'll tell us all of that, but that's the important role that he plays in society that I would like for us to speak about today. Friend, I want you to introduce, I don't know if you're comfortable with it, to introduce that part of you.
Okay.
If you are open to introducing your istunya sakho or what you are called and how you are addressed and yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So I don't think I should have a problem with introducing that, because that's the huge part of who I am actually, and I think everyone else has that important part of their lives, why they are existing and the purpose that they're serving, and that's part of my purpose. That's why that's why I was brought here. I'm sorry, yeah. So I don't know. You want my closing name?
Yeah. We introduce. I mean, like at work, but this was Mr. Ipeleng Masemene, and then Kostradeng, Ipeleng, and in that space.
Yeah.
Who are you?
Okay, so in that space, I am Ugogo Susan or Gogo Dungamanzi Wakamtet.
Okay.
Or Gogo Mafelekai. So it depends on how many closes Batule Moe. Okay, so but then the leader, you already know who the leader is. So every one of us knows who's the leader, because how time I come tomorrow.
Okay.
There are a lot of people behind you. It's a team. It's like an army of soldiers behind you, fighting for you, and also ensuring that you have the best and the beautiful things out of life.
Drinks.
Yeah, well.
Drinks. I'm getting the cute glass because I'm a girl.
Okay.
Thank you.
And the silver mic too. And Valentine is coming, maybe, because...
Guys, I want to talk about my silver mic, okay? Well, we're getting our drinks. I want to talk about my silver mic. This is my new brand. This is me. I'm the girl with the silver mic. Platinum. Oh, platinum.
Is it platinum?
It's platinum. Also, because I'm the platinum province, platinum city.
Is she part of the girls by platinum stars?
Hey! I was in high school, please. I was a baby. Sorry to cut you off there, friend. You can please continue.
So I have a lot of names, but obviously because I feel safe next to you, so I can say these things and to your audience. And I think your audience is full of people that want to be educated.
They want to learn.
They want to learn, and they want to have knowledge of things. They want to have conversations and debates surrounding certain things they do not agree or understand. And which for me, I feel like it's a good platform for me to actually speak about this whole thing. So I have different names, like I mentioned. I'm Dungamanzi, Wagamteta, and I'm Susan. I'm also Mafele Kaya. And the other one, I can't mention it.
Okay.
Yes.
So, I want to ask you, what does spirituality?
I'm sorry, guys. This guy doesn't want to hold this mic like this. Can't hear you, bro.
So sorry, Mega.
Yeah,
Was it fine though?
Yeah,
I edited it all.
no, don't worry. Keep going.
Okay.
So, I want to ask you what spirituality is for you, but we'll get there. I want us to speak about. A lot of us were raised in the church, right? A lot of us were raised in the church. Yeah, man. A lot of us were raised in the church, different churches. Any Sunday school,
Class,
Mochad,
yeah.
Youthi,
Yeah.
hey, Wapirisaparo, and. So, growing up, and from that background, yakereke,
Yes.
how did you come to where you are now? Like, how
Okay.
was that transition for you, moving from Bukreste? I'm not gonna say you're not Christian. I'm not at liberty to say that about
Yeah.
anyone, but how did you move from being Mulutere to being where you are now, to being are you a Sangoma? Is that
Yeah, that's a safe word.
Oh, is
I
it a
think we
safe
can
word?
use that. Yeah.
Okay, how did you, how was that transition for you from being Mulutere? And Mankolutere Dilodi, straightforward, if I may
Yeah.
say, we do things by the book. And now you're getting into this new being, this new person. How was that transition for you?
The funny thing is that has never been something that is new to me.
Okay.
It's something that I grew up knowing.
Okay.
Not necessarily in the family, but because man, you see people going to church. You have friends that attend Kereke Apostolo. You have friends that attend Kereke Sione. And sometimes you want to be with your friend and he invites you to their church or Apostolo. And you feel at peace when you get there. It's like home. Your spirit is chanting, come on, hey, I'm home.
We'll have a great time.
You have a great time, but also not diverting from the question asked. Yes, I grew up in Lutheran church. It's in it Sunday school. Always part of the Sunday school team here open. Always part of the kids that are going to the competitions.
competition, yeah.
You know, it's in a common class. And I went to the competition, the compete, and I got a youth. I sang in the section A choir, it's a kopela and whatnot. And I'm being a praying person. Kotlas. I can't say a prayer warrior because a lot of people use that term. I don't understand what it means. So I've been praying all my life, right? Maybe one day we can talk about
I'll
that,
explain-
right? Yeah, and explain it to me what that means.
Okay.
So I was the one before we eat. Like after by Tola, I would pray for food. And people will just take their food and eat. I'll pray. I don't know who inserted that in my mind. That's something that I grew up with. Even now, I don't have to say it out loud when we are meeting and eat and having lunch. I'll pray inside.
Okay.
And that's something that I grew up with. No one has ever said, this is something that you have to do.
So now, Kibatla, how or when did you figure out
Like,
gore unali isithunywa or unali, how
Yeah.
did you
How
get
did
to
that
that
get
part? How did that
Yeah.
come about?
So at 6, I remember vividly, at 6, that's when I started having dreams. That's when I
Okay.
had conversations with Abantu Badala without me noticing.
But you didn't know at the time.
Did not know.
Of course, I mean at 6
And
you're
I
a baby.
remember, because there are few memories where my dad and my mom were in the same house, Lynn. And that was one of those memories, a vivid one actually, where I was sleeping with my parents, because I'm the youngest. So I was sleeping with my parents, and then I couldn't sleep that night. And they were sleeping, dead. And then I saw people surrounding the bed. wearing different colors, blue and white, green, yellow, or you name them, all these colors that eventually I would have at different mabai and clothes that I'm wearing. You know?
Okay.
So I saw them and I would scream every time I see them, right?
Yeah, because it's. I mean, it's
I'm six and I'm
strange
seeing,
also.
and you see them like it's like they're in flesh, like right they're here.
Do
But
you see familiar faces?
No.
Or is it people that you've never
don't
seen?
know those people.
Okay.
I've seen my grandmother's picture, although I've never lived to meet her, but I've seen their pictures, and she wasn't part of the community or the people that were surrounding the bed.
That is fascinating. So,
So at that young age, I knew something was different.
Kawen. Okay.
And then I would have dreams. And I would know her kuku mamang to tlhokofala. And then I'll tell my sister Kim Salam Rao. And then that will happen. Like, ke a bona hore what's ama? And then
So
I'll tell my sister.
wa bonisa.
Ka bontshiwa at that young age.
Wow.
And then I started having migraines. And I fell into depression at 13, 14. And we did not know what was up.
What it was, yeah.
Yes. So to answer your question, I've always known I'm different. I've always known that my path is going to be different. And then I needed someone to guide me in that moment.
So when did you get, Kapo, when did you decode what all of that means? Like when did you, now you are 15, 16, you have just come out of this long few years of being depressed and now you are you know at 15 16 you are morphing into yourself basically.
Yes.
You are self-awareness at that time, you know. Is that the time where you, and obviously at that age also, you know, 15 16 you are
Teenager, yeah.
you're a teenager, you're in the middle or towards the end of your teen years, and exposure about life is so different from the exposure that you had at 6, right? Is it at that time then where you started to see, where you started to see or started to want to understand more what actually is happening with me?
You know what? You just actually took me back, because as you were like constructing your question, I was also taken back. So I remembered all these things that were happening, but my 15-year-old self was not aware what was happening. I knew, I saw things happening. I saw people in my dreams. I saw people, I had dreams, but I never understood what that entailed. It was never that thing out, I am sure this is a gift or whatnot. And with me it was different because I wasn't raised by my parents. I was raised by my siblings. Both my parents were working. So it's kind of difficult. These are people that about you don't have those meaningful conversations where you like. So my sister was the only one that I could bounce things with.
The one who mulatela.
So I was like, Tim, this is happening. But then it started when I had migraines.
Okay.
Constant migraines that would make me not attend school for like 2 weeks in a month. And that happened repeatedly. But you know what? I never failed. I was always in top 2, 3. I never failed any grade. I was always in top 3. But you know why? I understand now why that needed to happen.
Okay.
The migrants were like, please call me, that I never answered.
So when did you, I suppose then eventually you went through the route of finding out what is happening, and ultimately going through Ntwaso and all of those things. When did that part of your life happen? And where were you in terms of either in Bompilong, were you in school, were you working, were you dating, what was that like amongst your amongst your friends? Were you the first one, especially within you and your siblings or your household?
Okay, friend, so I'm gonna go back to that.
Of course,
the migraine part. Yeah, so the migraines happened when I was in middle school. So they started in middle school. So my mom's cousin comes and visits.
Middle school, grade 7, 8, 9.
Yes.
Yeah.
So we were still in the middle school, not secondary. I'm sorry. Yeah. So my mom's cousin visits. Kganakga practice in Sangoma, And then this guy comes with the taolata and gives me 4. And that was the message. Gore, to my mom, Ngwana is different. He's going to be this person when he's older. And then the chat was left at that. From then, I never had dreams. I never had migraines as intense like I did when I was in primary and all that. So, like high school, I like
Ipeleng will open a circle now.
Yeah.
Ipeleng will open a circle now.
So-
I'm actually gonna attach. I have a video from Recharge. Remember,
Okay.
I have a
I
video. I'm gonna give
remember.
Penya that video. Please attach it.
Yeah.
People need to see.
So yeah, I have a muntu who's like I'm part of the top 3 as well. So I'm doing fairly well. And then varsity. Finally, that's when the calling started.
Okay.
Being
And
intense.
that is a very crucial year. Mabupilong. That is a very crucial year because
100.
now, I mean, finally, now you are thinking of the following year. What now? That must have been very difficult, if I may say.
It was difficult. And you should know, Khore, it started at 6. So how many years did actually pass without me acknowledging that I have a gift or my parents or family doing something about it?
So I digress. Is it a case of they were not acknowledging, or is it a case of they didn't know any better themselves?
Friend, not like being honest. It's I'm not gonna put my family moving claim. I think they knew what was happening. They never really took it serious.
But in their defense, friend, like you say, you know, it's very difficult to acknowledge this difference because it's polar opposites of spirituality or belief systems or whatever.
True.
And if man, again, you know, Kereka Lutere is young, man. Kereka Lutere, it's kind of, what do they call it?
They're conservatives. Like,
It's a very conservative type of church. Like, we literally, whatever we do in the church is in a book. You know, from the beginning, 8:30 till 11:30.
True.
Everything that we do is written in a book.
Yeah.
And literally, even our prayers are written in a book. You know. So, again, in your parents and your family's defense, maybe they were scared to get into this space. Now this is way different from the way re phelang ka teng.
They might have been, but to take you back, like I said, I was raised by my siblings. I think what I said about them not actually taking that serious, I was actually referring to them, not the parents.
Okay.
Because when we talk about my parents, my mom is from a family that knows gore ho na le kereke apostol and mama ha ena tsena kereke apostol. Right? And then my dad, ho na le masione ko family nya hae. So, bongaka le bosione, they're not totally different.
Oh yes.
You know, they're not totally different. So it's unfortunate I was raised by my siblings who had that kids as well. So it was gonna be something that's gonna take toll on them.
Of course, because
yeah.
now they also want to raise their children a certain way.
Exactly. So with me, I feel like and nothing in our lives happens by mistake.
Of course, everything happens
that
for a reason.
Was part of my journey. For me to be shown at 6 and for me to be called for now, this is the time. For me to actually answer the please call me at a later stage, because I needed to go through what I went through in life in order for them to find me at a place where me and them are going to be understanding each other properly without any disturbance. So they started when I was doing my final year, second semester.
Paint that picture for us. Hori, now you go Unibo, living your best life, and now this thing comes. How does it? What is that intro?
Friend, the intro started more during Fontaine campus. So when I got into varsity, no structure that was active. So because I told you I grew up in church,
Of course.
so I always wanted to be in church on Sunday, obviously, you know. So a friend of mine, Oratile Kganakga, was part of the Anglican student organization.
Yeah.
So I used to go to church with her. But the church was outside campus. But during the week, they would have the church services on campus. Right? On Sundays, we would attend church, go kereke, and then on weekdays, we would attend church services within the campus. And that's when I get to interact with other kids from different backgrounds and all that. But then, the start of it all happened during Fontaine campus. There was a stay awake. We used to call them the revival, right?
Yeah.
My first trends happened there.
In front of
students.
How does that trance look? Because I believe, they are different for everyone.
Yeah.
So at that time, Luko Revivaling, how was your trance looking?
So how it happened, right? So NSOC, which is the Anglican Student Society, invited Methodist. And you know what Methodist?
Yes.
Invited but Lutheran Bastion. So now you can understand how
And the frequency different.
Yes, and that's what pelang. It's not eletsa mo bukeng tse Luther. Ke di feel ropela lukunutu le morena ba no. And that's when I was like, I felt like screaming.
Oh rara.
Okay. Like I started getting like wafya. I did not understand. Ka feka hatsela. Then prohanyana. It's a hanyana.
I woke up at that time.
That's all I remember.
Okay.
That's when I knew this is the beginning. Someone amongst the people that I attended that service spoke with me after everything and said, "Go and see someone. I think you are late."
So now that revival weekend, if Edile, now you have to prep to go see Motu. Who are you seeing? Yeah.
Do you think a 20-year-old boy in varsity at the primary high will go see someone?
You're
attending gigs? Yes, Pogo. My campus.
Yeah.
I never went to see anyone. I never spoke to anyone about that. Only the people that were there with me knew about it. I went on with my life. It's second semester. Guess what? Ipeleng failed one module. This is
something that has never happened.
It's a stupid module. It's like computer accounting. A stupid module. And that was them saying, we can do whatever that we want to do to you. I had to write second op and then pass that module later. And then I missed my opportunity of going to do my CTA full time.
Okay.
So in varsity, I'm not going to say much, but I was part of the top 18, top whatnot in our class. But I missed that opportunity. And it's them saying, we are the rulers.
We do what we want.
The ones with power. So you have to listen. So that happened. 2 years passed. I started my article. A year passed. I started my articles in 2012. Everywhere where I was working, I remember when I resigned and actually went through with the process. I had grabbed my boss, and Africans. No, kidding Africans, yes, but Africans. And then man gave me a contract, permanent contract, 2 weeks late.
So now, friend, fast forward, Utwasi there. Guys.
No.
I think, Benyo. So fast forward, friend, you Utwasi. Let me skip that part a bit. Yeah. Utwasi. Now you are. How are you navigating your new life now? Utwasi. Do you start practicing? Kapo. Now you are trying to navigate what Bungaka means to you. How do you move around that?
So after Khotwasa, I stayed 2 years without a job, but that's when I was practicing full time.
Okay.
And I think that was enough for them. I was practicing full time.
Practicing
that entails people are coming to consult. You are healing people through going to the rivers, mountains, and then Batlaba consult, and you're actually helping them. Some of them are not there to heal, but also to learn, and you start being the counsel rather, or the guider or the mentor. So a lot of people that I interacted with in throughout my journey were people that actually needed a mentor, people that have the same gift, or if not a gift or
Similar.
gift like mine, yeah. So, and the people that I gravitate towards are the people that actually have a gift of some sort. It might not be a Sangoma or a more prophet or whatnot. And even the people that are in my life right now are the people that somehow get me.
So now, how does that work in your everyday life? So from those 2 years when you were practicing, you eventually went back to, I'm gonna
Corporate.
say, normal life. You went
Yeah.
back to working, and so now you're this person. Now you umocha man, right? Umocha, mara, you are this spiritual leader. How do you navigate ukopantayang those two integral parts of your life? How do you, no, it's not it's not two parts actually, because now you're working, now you're a spiritual leader, now you are chaman, and there's so many other things involved. How do you navigate all of those? So from then to today, how are you navigating all of that?
So I think, but you know, I'm gonna talk about them like for 30 seconds. But they are scientists, they're astronauts, or whatever that you may call them. So they knew the person that they were choosing.
Okay.
They knew he's gonna be chilling with Oratile sometime, go Capello or whatever, drinking and having beers, and they will have a simple talk to Oratile about life, and then from there, Oratile will leave the place healed because of the words Ipeleng imparted with it. Yeah. So with me right now, I'm not one or little. I'm conditioned to stay in Dumba and then wait for clients or my buy all the time. I serve. The reason why they put me in a position they knew the interactions with the students, the interactions with people are gonna come in a form of healing for those that interact with me, you know. And then in church as well. And Naburutubaka, I was Kimurut, literally, I was born as Muruti. It wasn't until it's like Ipeleng Masemene Murut. Now it came in a gift, like
It's part of what you are.
It's part of what I am. And in me saving that part of me,
So, bo spiritual leader ba gago as it just
Sangoma,
gore o Sangoma. You are
many layers.
spiritual all over the spirituality and spiritual realm. You
Yes.
are okay. That's quite fascinating. When a friend,
Yes, friend. So then I serve in all those parts of me. Like I serve them differently. I could be chilling with you, go classing. We're both students, right? I could be chilling with you, go class, and I will help you with something. And then I will go to town. Something. I'll help her. So mine is not. Client, take people to the rivers, and I do that seldomly.
you remind me of Don Tandega King.
Yeah.
I was watching her interview with David Masemene. She was saying something similar. Fine, she practiced in the years that she practiced, and then Barikoyena, she's going to heal in the thousands. I mean, she stopped physically practicing Sabundumba, and now she's an actress. And she says that is her healing in the thousands. She heals from,
Which is amazing, right?
yeah, she heals from Mo Aling. So I want to find out from you, Gore, how do you use your different platforms, your friend group? I mean, I know when I'm with you or when we are together in our friend group, we talk about these things a lot. We talk about this a lot. But so now, outside from that space where I'm with you, or that space that I know, how do you use your other platforms, your other friend groups, your colleagues, your family? How do you use those platforms to continue to heal and to teach and so forth? Yeah,
So I'm turning 5 this year.
in your
Yeah, it's like it
Bungoma.
was it.
nice.
And it has taken long for my family to actually acknowledge me as umtumtal. So go ahead,
Especially because
yeah,
last
I'm the youngest,
born.
like 112. So Vanta as Mutomogolo right now. So I serve them. everyone else, whether on matata le ngwana hae, ko mmerekong ba irang ba re, they call me,
Nice.
they text me. And then that's where I think my purpose is. I'm not one who tell, oh, lawyer, kimang, and whatnot. So mine is easy. You're going to be a counselor or someone who guides people.
I
a
like
mentor.
that.
Yes, for me, that's it. And that's why even with my friends, where I serve my friends, I think I'm close with every one of you guys.
You are.
All of
And
my friends.
I think
And
you
we
have
can
a
have a-
personal relationship with all of us.
And we talk about deep stuff, right?
Exactly.
All of us. And with every one of my friends, I talk about deep stuff. I think I've become the safest space.
You
In
are.
a way.
You
So
are.
that's why I'm saving. I don't have to think a lot about it. I wanted to think about what is it that I'm bringing to the table where my ancestors are involved. But that's when I realized that actually you're doing a lot. For your family, you're doing a lot. So every one of my family members have at something. Whether it's a Patla Badimo, or it's a Mukit. I'm the first contact. If my friend Odizika something, things that they need to do, they come to me and I serve as someone about what they need to do and how to do it. That's why I'm so big with celebrations because it's the meaning. It's me saying to you, you're worth it, but without saying it, because I'm not good with words. I'm good with actions in that. So that's how I serve.
So, I actually wrote this stuff. It's one of the stuff that I sent you. How do you, how do dikgwetlho tsa lefatshe, dikgwetlho tsa botshelo, different ones really, whether it's personal relationships, romantic relationships, whether it's, I mean, you've mentioned a bit of how things have worked out in your schooling career, ko mmerekong and all of those things. And so how do all of those things in their entirety, how do they influence how you do things, like
How you go through life, right?
in your everyday life,
Friend,
but as a spiritual leader. So how,
friend, today I'm not. There's a facade that we put up. We're going through the most. Fortunate enough, maybe I don't want to jinx things. My romantic relationship, this is the only relationship that I had for like 2 years. I'm just waiting for them to drop a bomb. Like, okay. But this is the only relationship that was able to survive 2 years post me
That's
being
great.
ngaka, right? Dikgwetlho tsa lefatshe, right? So you get called names like we're a lawyer. And trust you me, I've been called that. For the family, a lot of family members don't get along with me. And I got to a point where like I stay away. Because you get told who to us or your first name out of this house or out of this yard is gonna be Muloy.
Muloy, yeah.
Yeah. So you're gonna get called names, and you're gonna be hated by a lot of people because if you're clean and I'm dirty, obviously I'm gonna have some form of animosity towards you, right?
Animosity.
Yes, and I'm not saying people are dirty. I'm just saying the story of Jesus Christ. It's similar to the stories about being spiritually gifted. I don't want to delve into the Bible. I don't want to discuss that. But I'm saying the way he was crucified and people that led him there, ke ba dwelling close to him. So dikgwetlho tsa lefatshe ke
always.
tsona tseo, friend. So this journey is not easy. I'm still in self-discovery of what the journey wants to take me. Where they want me to go. Because I feel like as a Sangoma and a spiritual being, you automatically become a lifelong learner. What was primary or crèche, grade R? There's still some things that you still need to learn. And I'm on that. I'm still learning. I found out.
And teaching, I think one of my favorite things about you is that you teach, man. I can literally wake up and ask you for another and you will.
Exactly.
I like that about you. I want us to continue this conversation, but we're obviously pressed for time.
Yeah.
But as you guys know, conversations on Oracle don't end. It's just all of them actually up to so far. Giddy part 1, literally all of them Giddy part 1, and I think the next part of our conversation, I want to have it with a bit more people, with similar experiences. I think I would also like to share my experience as well.
Yeah.
Because you remember.
Oh, yeah, no, I do.
You remember. So I would also like to share that, and I think I would like to maybe understand better what that was and so forth. What is my last question? What is your parting word about maybe what would you say to a 15-year-old and their parents? O e leng goreng o na le o go through something similar that you've been through, like something. What's that one thing that you would say to them?
Okay. Oh, sorry, Togaza. Oh, here's the thing. The one thing that I want to tell the parents, rather, and it's not only restricted to spirituality. A lot of things. I mean,
Yeah.
we have transgender kids right now, you know, and I want parents to be like like, you know, notice the changes, notice the differences in how they are acting right now, and that's where you're gonna learn how there's something actually wrong with the kid, or something that is
Different.
yeah, something that is brewing, you know, something different. I wish I had parents that were
Like that.
yes, and I'm not saying 24 hours look at the kids. You know, you can sense man, there's a shift, man, in how they do things, you know. And then Wano, obviously at 15 years will not understand. I mean, there are kids falling. I saw a 10-year-old Wale Sangoma.
Yeah, because right now we've got so much media exposure to all of these things.
Yes, but parents need to be on the lookout of the changes happening in their kids' lives. You know, one hour of to Sly every day. That days I have to go to school, and that days he doesn't go out to play with his friends. Or first day, third day, it needs to
Register gore go na le something.
exactly. So I think parents need to be careful in terms of all these things happening, because if you miss it, you are bound to lose one. I mean, okay, in the next part we're probably going to talk about the depression, suicidal thoughts,
Yes.
and failed suicide attempts,
Yes.
and all those things that happened throughout my journey. So those things can lead to you losing one if you're not careful enough. But also our parents need to work, right? Need to go and live their best. Wanna speak out. Had I spoken out at a young age, I think I could have been ngaka kilominyan, and then half of the things that are happening to me right now wouldn't have happened.
Maybe they wouldn't have
So my parting words: let's all be in each other's spaces
and realize and figure out and
figure out
see.
things, and also it's Africa has woken up, has awakened.
I like that. I actually like how these days, I'm going to say these days, the youth, we are so aware of these things, and we are speaking out, and we are practicing, and we are teaching, and we are learning. I like that we are not taking things at face value. We don't take what we are given. We question things. We question, what does this mean for me, and so on and so forth. I like that, and I think it's important to have spiritual leaders who are within or within our age groups, people that we can relate to. You and I are not the same age, but we relate. We understand. I can ask you things, and I feel like my younger siblings can also relate to you, or you can relate to them. They can also come to you. So, sure, I really wish we
had more time.
We had more time, but I can't wait for us to continue with this conversation. Thank you so much, my friend, for making time to hang out with us. Thank you so much, Peño, for everything.
I know. No, it was a beautiful experience. Thank you for inviting me.
And thanks so much to Capella Newtown Junction for continuing to be our home. And thanks to you guys for being with us up until episode 4. See you again on the next episode.
Yippee!
Bye.
Succeed. And we put in work and achieve, baby.